Oh, hello everybody. Welcome to the Interesting Modelling Company Sunday Car Service. It's our monthly rundown of the week's modelling automotive news. And as always, I am joined by Mr. Ian Hartup. Ian, how you doing?
I'm okay, my friend.
Yeah.
Busy little soul, but not massively productively. Lots of background stuff going on.
I know the feeling. I have not been able to spend really any serious workshop time in here in the last week or so, last couple of weeks, because I've been too busy doing artwork for products for you boys and girls to go out and buy. So it's been full on there. But so when I get to the end of the day, I just, I get to the end of the day, don't worry, I won't bore you with all this. But I'll still be working through to about 9:30, and then I think, right, I'll go and have some supper and watch some cartoons. But I've just cleared 2 massive projects, so good news. We've got news to cover tonight. Project updates from you, Mr. Hartup. You've been busy, haven't you?
Well, I've got a couple that have been going on for a little while that are at that kind of. One's just finished this week, and then I've got another one on the go. So we were actually, that's the one that's on the go. That's my Skyline that I spoke about last time I was on, I think, where I was playing around with SMS paints. Interesting, this one actually. Let me just reach across here. Reaches across, grabs a jar of paint because he forgot to pick it up just now. Okay, so that green colour that's on there is SMS paint. And officially, that colour is purple green pearl flip.
Say again, purple
green pearl flip.
Okay.
Right. So let me show you this on camera. This is the jar of paint.
Yep. That's definitely purple.
Same paint on the model. Now, if you see this, I've only got a primary coat of clear on that. Let me get rid of that glass out there. I've only got a primary coat of clear on the bonnet because I had to respray the bonnet after I rather foolishly ran it over with my chair.
Whoopsie.
Yeah, it's clear plastic as well, so it was nice and brittle and cracked. So there's been a repair work on that. So that's had another coat, but that you can you get little flashes of the purple.
I think when it's in shadow, it does suddenly pick up the purple.
You see it? Yeah.
Yeah. Because if you see that, you've just turned it away from the camera because the light has not been. See, there we go. It's suddenly purple.
Yeah, but the other thing is, if you put that over white, it'll be that color.
Okay. So what did you put it over?
Black. Now, on the back of the bottle, it says, and I don't know whether I should be saying this with an Australian accent or not, but it says, for a true pearl effect, apply over white. For a metallic pearl effect, apply over black. So I meant to spray some on a spoon, on a white spoon to show this evening, and I forgot in my haste to do other things. So, yeah, it's definitely a learning curve, that one, mate.
So you've turned it away from the light there, and yeah, there we go. Look, you can see that bonnet is suddenly purple.
That was spray. That's the same paint.
Yeah, but it's when
When it
depending on
hasn't got clear coat on it, the effect is
right,
very pronounced. Soon as the clear coat went on,
it kills the pearlescent
kills
effect.
the effect. So I'm still trying to work out either I did something wrong. I mean, you can see the purple in here, and it's very. It's a lot. Don't get me wrong; it's a fabulous color and a really cool effect. What happened was when I did this, I've had to make some remedy. There's going to be a bit of camouflaging going on. Let's just say that. So these lace decals have appeared down the side, and there's templates for these two panels on the bonnet and the center panel to go on there yet.
Yeah, I'm just going to bring your images in because
they're better than the picture I'm showing you.
No. It's there we go. There is the lace effect.
So those are decals made by an American company called STS Decals. He specializes in custom decal work. He also has quite a range of pre-prepared decals, which are replacements for old AMT and Revell kits. You know, the really old kits where the decals are just shot. And he does a lot of those. He's currently working on a set for me for a very old AMT show car called the Horsehide Hauler, which is as esoteric as it sounds, to be fair. And the decal sheet had decals for a couple of surfboards on it that are in the kit. And I wanted those decals, so he's making replicas of those.
Could you bring that sheet up on camera again, because we only saw the tail end of it.
Hang on.
That was my fault for being a bit slow with the camera. There we go.
You wait for just a moment. Talk amongst yourselves, people.
Yep. What a rotten week of football. Oh, here we go. Right, here we go.
So these are they, and they come in a variety of colors and patterns. I've got white and black. When I bought them, that was all I could get, and they're all sorts of different
funky
patterns. And it's related to the lowrider type custom cars in the States, where the paint effects and those kind of things are very much the focus of a lot of the cars. So you've got pinstriping, and you'll have tape lines with panels with lace work down the middle where they fogged it, and in all sorts of the most beautifully lurid pearls and candies and things. Absolutely wonderful cars. Very, very difficult to replicate in scale. There are a couple of people out there who do, and particularly in the American show scene, who do models that you look at with that kind of finish on, and it's, oh my word, you know, 6 months worth of taping and spraying on a 24 scale body. That kind of thing. And the depth of finish is just,
alas, as much as I'd like to spend 6 months working on a model in terms of being consistent with it, but that's not the kind of modeling I do. So,
no, I'm much the same. But yeah, so so I'm playing with that. That's interesting stuff. I have finally finished my little S13 Slaty as well. That's done. So that's.
Did you send me pictures of that? No, you haven't.
I didn't. No, I meant to, and I do apologize. Finished that. I think we showed that last time. It was heading towards completion. It's now done.
What kit is that?
This is a Fujimi kit. Ooh. It's a Nissan. So this is quite. I think I might have touched this last time. Quite an interesting story around these cars. So the Japanese road racing scenes and racers love the 180 SX, which is what that is. but this isn't. So the later 180s had pop-up headlights, which were both fragile and heavy, and they affected the performance of the car. So in an effort to reduce cost, reduce weight, and make them, this is the front end of an S13 Silvia on the back end of a 180. So hence it's a Sil 80.
Nice.
Yeah. Great little kit. The guys at Kent Models had it on one of, those things where you, as you're checking out, it comes up, would you like this as well for a special price? And it was one of those deals. And so I couldn't really resist it. And it's a fabulous little subject. It's a very basic. Fujimi kits of this era are very basic. They're very simple. I've got a couple more on the go where, it literally is just a shape. It's a curbside.
I was just going to say, it's a curbside model. Yeah.
Yeah, there's very little in the way of extensive detail with it. It's as you can see. So,
I don't know. I think that's quite detailed.
It's detailed enough that it looks busy. There are things. The rear wing's out of an upgrade pack, the GT wing pack that the guys at Fujimi sell as a subset, as of the exhaust tips. And I think and changed the steering wheel as well to a more racery one. And I've done a video about using the Spy polishing set this week, and that's uploaded, and that featured that featured the Skyline, but this was the one I used to test the process with. So as you can see, that roof is pretty good, and I also used it on all the glass.
Now, you see, that's new to me. I've not been keeping up with my Despy stuff. Despy polishing set, polishing sponge set.
Can you guess where we got it from?
Premium?
No.
No, go on.
My favorite place in the world.
Amazon?
AliExpress.
Oh, AliExpress, yes. That rabbit hole.
Yeah. And I got some of these as well at the same time. These are Ray Studios polishing pastes. Nice.
They look like the dispenser looks like the things that used to do the shoe whitening. Oh no, it's not. I thought that was like a sponge.
Yeah,
it's not.
Yeah, it's like a proper. The nice thing about these is the sides of the bottles are clear, and you can see the actual content and how much there is. So
that's good.
Yeah, which often with these things so it's like that. This bottle of G12 that I've got here that I've been using since Pontius was a pilot, which is proper commercial fine cut compound. There's some heft in that. I haven't got a clue how much is left in there, but I just quite like that for a modeling product. I want to see how much I've got left. So yeah, they come with a little polishing cloth in each bottle, which obviously if you're using the sponge set isn't necessarily usable, but they seem to be really good for my, particularly for use with the sponge set. They give a good result. I'm not unhappy with them, let's just say that.
There you go, folks. So, raystudio.shop. That's a new brand to me. So I shall be tomorrow during lunchtime. I shall be having a good scroll through that.
Well, again, they're on AliExpress at
are they
good prices? Remember the metal thing with the rubbers on the end of it for taking your excess washes and panel stuff off of that?
Yes,
yeah, that's one of theirs. That was the first piece of theirs I saw, and I think because I'd had that, they popped up, and I was like, and at the time I was in the process of ordering that polishing thing because I'd seen it on another. Where had I seen that? I'd seen it on a YouTube thing. One of the German guys was using it, and I was like, "Oh, that looks interesting." And now I've got it. I've done a YouTube video, which is also on my Facebook, shared onto my Facebook page now, about using it, and there's a proper. This is what I done. That's why the Skyline body is polished, and I've never really been a big fan of the time required and the means of polishing clear coats. It's not. I just find it tedious. It doesn't. It's just a personal thing. That has probably halved the time involved in getting it done.
Oh,
and it's improved the finish. You still got to get your flat uniform finish to start with, but to bring that flatted back clear coat back up to polished with those pastes and that system, absolutely brilliant. Really impressive.
I should be on AliExpress tomorrow. I did go down the rabbit hole this week of getting absolutely foxed by Temu, because they yeah, I know.
It's not difficult.
No, what? Right, we're just going to go off topic for a second here, folks. But
surprise.
No, I'll do it at the end of the show. That'll be my that'll be no.
We'll forget. We'll forget.
No, I won't forget. I will remember, because it's burning up here. Trust me. I'm so mad with myself. But anyway, yeah. So, whoops, Daisy. So let's just go back to your.
So that's the lace deck. So what I've done is I've put the SMS paint on it over black. It's had a couple of coats of clear, which were then flatted and polished a little bit. Then it had the decals on, and then it's had another couple of coats of clear. I've used my usual Gunze UV cut. I think I used the rattle can for that. And then it's set for a few days, on and off in the dehydrator, which is on when I'm in the loft on a night with it in, just to make sure. And then I polished it with the device, which I'm rather impressed with. I've got a detail paint in the headlamps and the indicator piece in there, with some silver backing. To be honest, the model's more or less done. Did have a minor, you can see in the bottom of that shot, I had a minor break on the A pillar, so I've got to reinstate a little bit of colour just at the top of the A pillar there, and a little bit of the trim, but that was actually caused by me being ham-fisted, so I have no one to blame but myself.
Just going to give a shout to SMS, because I started using their paint checks notes about 6 years ago, 6 or 7 years ago. I've got some. Where are we? They're in that container there. If you've never used it, you just use it straight from the bottle. It is beautiful stuff.
It's lovely. They do a very comprehensive range of Australian military colours.
Yes. Yeah.
Particularly things. Was it now?
Foliage green.
I don't know whether it was one of yours. Did you do the decals for the 70 Seconds Girl Tiger Moth that was all over green?
Yeah, the foliage green one. Yeah.
Yeah. So I used their foliage green on my build of that. And it's wonderful stuff. Absolutely beautiful.
Bear with, folks. Bear with. He just gets his. I've got my Despy tools up here. Oh,
Don't throw everything on the floor, because that's my trick.
No, I know. I've already dropped the MacBook on the floor this evening, but there we go. I mean, these have been. See, I didn't set the camera up tonight, but let's just go solo. There we go. This is SMS paint. The first time I used it, it was a revelation. It's absolutely stunning stuff, and I am really looking forward to using the RAF colors that SMS actually sent me a year or two back on my Hamden. On my ICM Hamden, but it is, I wouldn't say foolproof paint, but it's as close to, because your airbrush loves it.
It's beautiful stuff to spray.
Yeah,
beautiful.
Yeah.
But see, there's sorry, yeah.
No, go on.
There's a proliferation of these ready to spray from the bottle lacquer type paints now. MRP, SMS. I think AK. I think AK have done one as well, haven't they? You know, and so we have product available to us that we can just pick up, shake, and spray, which makes life a lot simpler. I mean, we think about Mr. Colors and things like that, where you're thinning and spraying and Tamiya and stuff. Some people don't, they don't want to do that, whereas that's just pick it up. But the one thing I will say is, I know I was involved in a very deep and meaningful conversation with Andy Brown, who's responsible for me getting this Revuelto behind me, about some of MRP's color matches. He's not convinced. So you pay your money and you take your choice with those ones. The ability to with things like Mr. Color, where you can tweak a jar, and I know that Drew does this in that he'll take a base, he'll take like a jar of C305, Gunship Grey, and FS36118, isn't it? And he'll dab put a little bit more blue in it, and then he'll mix it, and then he'll label it and go, right, that's my chosen thing. With the pre-mix ones, I don't know that it's as effective to do that as it is with like a jar of Mr. Color. So I know Roy's saying he's not convinced by dark earth and dark green.
I was just going to, Roy's actually preempt me there, because two of the colours that I will always judge a paint range on will be dark earth, RAF dark earth and RAF dark green. And the number of times I've seen models on the internet with very purple dark earth and almost like a lime green, and it's just like, it's that
see, for dark earth and dark green, as in early war and immediately pre-war RAF, my fallback position is always C22, C23 in the Mr. Color range.
I agree,
because there's so many manufacturers, and I think Drew and you and I have had this conversation before, who just revert to 34079 dark and go, that's dark green. It's nowhere near it. Nowhere near it. So yeah, it is a bone of contention. But like I say, if you're just looking to pick a jar off a shelf, spray it and have a reasonable consistency, and be able to do it without having to mix and thin and all that lot, then these pre-mixes are absolutely wonderful. The thing with the SMS colors is that there's an enormous range of non-FS matched bright colors that are appropriate to car modelers, and that's where my love of them is. I love the pearls, and they've got some extreme color shifts that are just unbelievable. There's one called Black Hole that has to be seen to be believed when it's painted over black or white, because again, it differs on either. And so that they'll be coming up on models this year, I hope. Funnily enough, there's a one of the curbside Fujimi Mitsubishi Lancers that I intend to do with one of those, and that's not far off the top of the it needs building pile, which is now, she's over here and getting bigger, it seems, by the week. So it is what it is.
Mike Williams says, I use their foliage green and Aussie dark earth on my Airfix 48 scale Anson. They were perfect colors and sprayed beautifully. Mike brings up the next thing, which is, I still think a jar of Tamiya or Mr. Hobby is better value for money than the pre-mixed paints. They last far longer as you thin what you want. And I will say, I absolutely adore the SMS paints, but in this country, they are pretty much over $5 a bottle. So I am very select with what I buy. But when I have bought it, I've not been disappointed thus far.
Like I say, it's very much it is, you pay your money, you make your choice. If that's what you want to use, that's what you want to use, and you buy it and you pay it. And let's be fair, you're going to get a couple of 48 scale aircraft at least out of a jar of dark earth or dark green or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's not going one aircraft ajar and things like that. Which some of the car colors do. It's a body ajar. I burnt through a complete jar of that flip painting that skyline.
Yeah. Oh, Roy's saying all the right things here. Here we go. He says, I finished decaling my FX Mosquito B16 a few days ago, and I used the decals from the most recent release. I have to say, the decals are absolutely superb. They performed flawlessly, and the printing registration. Nice work, Jonathan. To be honest with you, Roy, I didn't print them. I wasn't there with the old squeegee, doing them in the kitchen. But thank you. Coming from Roy, I do appreciate the compliments. So Roy has helped me with projects in the past. And Richard says you need to lower your PSI on MRP SMS a lot more to not waste half the bottle painting your room instead of the bottle. Very, very good point. And Paul DRH Wiltshire says, I'm building the Trumpeter 1350th HMS Belfast 1942 model kit. The PE is so fiddly, but I'm loving the kit. That's why I steer clear of photo etch, quite frankly. I should man up and embrace it, but right, shall we? It's in the background there, and it's kind of like it wants to be part of the show. So you've got, I do believe Revell have sent you a copy of. No, you went out and bought it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we didn't get any indication from Revell that they were going to send us one.
Right.
I know it was mentioned, but an opportunity arose. My friend Andy, who I was talking about just now, is based in Brussels. And he was coming over for a leave weekend, and an exchange of folding occurred, and I ended up with this. This is Revell's new 124 scale Lamborghini Revuelto. It's the best pronunciation you're going to get from me. I haven't got a clue. If someone who is Italian would like to tell me how that is pronounced, I will be very pleased. Thank you.
It would be ironic if it was Revuelto, wouldn't it? Because
Revuelto.
Being a Revell kit. So
Revell 2. Yeah.
I
don't know. This is where I get all excited. You ready? Look, a tray box. How exciting is that?
Thankfully,
that is just that simple change changed my opinion of that product.
Yeah.
I will make one point about this box later on. I've got one little gripe, but I'll come to that in a minute.
It does. Well, I might preempt you there, Ian. It does look like Revell are still using quite thin cardstock.
It is no. That's it. The stocks. Yeah, it's not. It is. It's kind of the same cardstock as was used on the end openers.
Right.
Yeah. But it's strong. Somehow they've reinforced it quite heavily at the sides, and just that just makes me happy.
Yeah.
It doesn't compress. I did do the compress set. I put 4 Tamiya boxes on top of it to see whether it deformed, and it didn't. So yeah. I mean, obviously, you've got people like when ICM put the big heavy cardboard boxes with the lid, like the tray lids on top of them. Yeah.
My stress test used to be my cat Joey, who used to come into the workshop and just jump up on the workbench and sleep on a box. So and I remember. Sorry to hijack your segment of the show, but I remember back in the mid-90s, he did sleep on a Revell end opening box, and he absolutely crushed it.
The problem is that's not difficult.
No,
and the thing was, you'd have a stack of them, and you could see it slowly
starting to flatten.
Yeah.
Yep, that sounds like my attic.
Sarah Jane, it's not McLaren Papaya. It's a Rancher Atlas Pearl, which is a legitimate Lamborghini color. There you go. And if you use the color code for it, it's also the color code of a Ford Focus ST, Asbo orange. But there you go. So this is the new Revell. So I've given Jonathan a nice set of photographs.
Yep. Let me know when you want me to bring them in
to back up. But this is what you get. You get a very full box.
Yes.
You know, once you've debagged it. One thing I will say is, and it's quite noticeable, the sprue. None of the sprues are bigger than a standard Revell America box. So it's going to the States as well in their square-sized boxes. The glass is really nice, but it's missing masks, or at least templates for masks. Even Hella give you them now. So, but we'll come back to a couple of minor gripes in a minute. But let's have a look at these pictures that we've got here. That's
wrong one.
No, wrong one. Never mind.
It's
so I did a proper
doing that. Apparently, it's Mike Williams says it's Revuelto. Revuelto. The V sounds like a B, creating a similar sound to Revuelto. So,
because all Lamborghinis are named after fighting bulls.
Yes,
Murcielago and all those. So that's I mean, we get that, but obviously this is the box. This is what made me. I was so pleased with that box. I know that sounds ridiculous, but just as a step forward, because it was moved. It was talked about when we did the previews with Luke, wasn't it? It's something that needed changing. And so when it arrived, and I was chuffed to bits, because I've got a stack of Revell 934 Porsches, you know, the racing Porsche, the early 70s one. And the boxes are all done.
Yep.
Absolutely done. And I've only had them about 6 months. So
I was going to say that was one of the things that really impressed me with the Hella kits that we were sent, is that they're now kind of like you know, kind of lids, bases and lids. They're lift offs.
But
they are so much more sturdy.
That reminds me, on the 205. Remind me to talk about 205 when we finish doing this.
Yep.
So. Move on, young man. There we go. So I've done front and rears of all the sprues because it seemed appropriate. The wheels are a step.
Oops.
In that Revell had a habit of doing the wheels with a hub and a front and a piece that you trap between the two, and then the tire went on it. With this, they've actually done them with a pin that goes into an aperture on it's a male to female connector. So there's a female location on the hub. So you can paint them separately and put them on, and then theoretically they will still rotate if you want your wheels to go around. The detail on the engine, obviously, there's not a lot of the power plant visible from above. There's the usual sort of glazed kind of panel thing on the back, and so what they've given you is enough. You know what I mean? Some of the detail isn't, well, it definitely isn't Tamiya crisp. It's there, but not quite. But I haven't started, obviously I haven't started assembling it yet. And that will be the tell. I think it's actually, you know what, I subject to construction, I think it's probably the best car kit Revell have made that I've had to date. I've not seen much.
See, I look at that, and my first thought is Star Wars Greeblies, but
yes.
So there we've got the back of the seats and the inside. Is that the inside of the door panel?
Yeah, that's the reverse of the door panels and the floor. So that's the actual interior there. So the wing mirrors are molded up on the top left. They're a little bit fiddly. Looking at the sprue attachments, you're going to have to do a little bit of either very careful detachment from the sprue and sanding, or a little bit of remedial work when you're dealing with them. Center console's nicely detailed. As I say,
just going to say that's why we have single edge nippers these days.
Yeah, that is true. I've lost the part. Hang on. So when we cut back camera in a minute, I'll do something as well. So yeah, I mean, as I say, from what I can see so far, I'm impressed. There's a little bit of a thing. There's quite a complicated engine bay part, like an engine bay surround, which is, I don't know whether, I'm not sure if we've missed it already, but that has got detail molded into it that really could have done with being a separate part. Half relief washer bottles are a personal gripe. Mold them separately. Let me paint them and glue them on. I'm happier. The chassis.
I tell you what, I will skip back and give me a shout when we get to that frame.
Yeah, there you are.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Up at the top.
Yep.
That sort of U-shaped bit that's sideways onto us. Oh, one thing you will notice: left-hand, right-hand drive dashes there as well.
Yep, that's a good touch.
Yeah, with the call-outs for how to drill out the scuttle in front of the windscreen to get the windscreen wipers in the right place for left-hand, right-hand drive. You'll see LLRRR on that one. So yeah, but that piece at the top, would it have hurt to have maybe another 3 or 4 parts in the box and not have had that as semi reset, as like half brown, half molded parts, because that is actually visible. That's the top of the engine bay, and that's what you see from under the engine cover. So, yeah, the floors are really nicely molded. There's proper detail on it. There's one of the pieces at the front where the it all meets up with the floor is a little bit fragile, a little bit thin. So you need a bit of care around that. You're not going to just slap it in and hope for the best. But from what I've seen, it's doable with a little bit of care. But the diffuser detail on the underside is very nicely done.
Yeah,
that's the thing with modern supercars. There's no exposed exhaust pipes. There's none of that stuff going on underneath them now. They're all covered up for aerodynamic purposes.
Is that effectively? I nearly said wing and ground effect, but you know what I mean. Right. It's because these are fast cars. Yeah. It's to keep them on the ground rather than make them airborne.
Yeah, it is wing and ground effect. That's where ground effect on F1 cars comes from, wing and ground effect. And that is the technology that the supercar manufacturers are using. You know, that diffuser section at the back, on the left of that shot, is all about rear end downforce. And all the openings and the little winglets and stuff are all about keeping the front on the ground so you get steering motion. So, you know, they are very, very close to the real thing on this. It's really, I'm as you can tell, I am impressed with it. Building it will be the measure of it, I think.
Yeah, the yardstick.
Yeah, the glass is nice. Yeah,
so the clear parts look. It's going to sound dumb. They look clear. They don't look thick and distorted.
No, we've all had older kits with the glass has been a bit. The side glass is designed. Well, in fact, all the glass is designed to fit from the outside as well, which is nice.
Yeah, that's good. So that means effectively you can paint it and then add the glass afterwards.
Yeah, because obviously you've got a mask. That's what I'm saying. That it could have done with a masking set. I'm going to have to have a quiet word in the ear of that there, Lisa Wells, about a set and get her designing some, because you know they are needed. It would have been nice if they'd have even just put your templates on the instruction, but they haven't. But that body shell molding is pretty
impressive, isn't it?
Yeah, there's some very, very faint mold lines on
will be because it's slide molded.
Yeah. I think I was trying to work it out, and I think it's something like a 6-line slide mold. There's sides and backs and bits and pieces sliding in. They've really, really pushed the boat out with that. It bodes well for the McLaren. That's a little further down the line. I think they were talking about that towards the middle end of the year. That will be nice. I'll be all over that like a rash. I do like a McLaren sports car. Plus, I'm hoping that it won't be too difficult because there is a racing version of the 720.
Right.
It races, I think, races on the European Le Mans ELMS and the used to be the Blancpain series that I can never remember the name of, and British GT series. I think it races in there as well. So if the opportunity to convert it to that, I get the sneaking suspicion that sprue will be chromed in some markets because
that's a light cluster, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, the light clusters and the mirror glasses.
And then we've got vinyl tires.
Really nice.
The first thing that strikes me, Ian, is that there's no horrible seam line down the middle of the tires.
No, it's offset to one side. It's on the edge of the tread pan.
Right.
They've been very clever. Very clever.
Is that on the, when you say it's on the edge, is that the inner edge so that it's hidden by the bodywork?
No. So you see where the horizontal and vertical lines are on the tire. The horizontal ones on the edges that go in, on the edge of one of those running around the wheel, there's ever such a faint mold line, but it is faint. And if you spin it up, if you spin it up in one of the tire standing devices that are starting to become available, I've got a zoom on set. Thank you, Sarah Jane. GT World Series, that was it. That you can get rid of it in probably in about 30 seconds for all 4 tires. So yeah, it's not like the traditional. There's a great big honking line around the middle. If you look too closely at the tires on that Fujimi SIL 80, there's actually a groove where the mold line is around the middle that's just not there on the real tire. So yeah, but they are really nice, these tires, and they are a little firmer than we're used to, but not too hard.
I'm just going to bring these images back in because I suddenly realised that yes, I hadn't formatted the instruction sheets properly. So, yeah,
the decal sheet one, the decal sheet, very nice.
Yeah, we're just going to re-import the
while you're doing that, just put me on screen and I'll do this. So
here we go. There he is. Oh, I've lost.
So this is, I've cut one part of the sprue. This is the rear 3/4. There's a locating peg. Get this the right way around. There's a locating peg here that locates into there. Under here, there's a little strip. Hang on, do it better on the back. You can just see it there. Look, so there's a little strip. And there's a locating peg. So locating peg goes in, strip locates and pushes in tight, and you've got no obvious join line because it's actually on a panel brake for the rear spoiler. And then this is on the door line. Look,
that is really quite smart design and engineering, isn't it?
So the gluing area is on the reverse of that, tucked away behind that strake, and into here. You're going to glue in here and in here, so you're not actually going to have any form of glue on the outside of the body, which would impair your finish. And that is sufficient that
that's brilliant.
It ain't coming off. I think that's really rather nice. As I say, on the actual body coloured parts, there are wing mirror elements. That rear piece and the fit of that again looks really nice. And the other side, and these bits I haven't got to. I think they go on in here.
Sarah Jane says the part fitment reminds me of Aoshima cars. Very nice.
Yeah, I don't think it's quite at the right. So thinking Aoshima and and thinking through, it's definitely at the level or thereabouts of the original Aventador, but not at the level of the last Diablo and the Countach. It's kind of coming up that curve that Aoshima went through. If you've ever built the new tool Aoshima Lamborghini Countach, that is an absolute work of art. But their Diablo GT that they did was phenomenal, and the fit on that is just unbelievable. But this is definitely on that curve, and if they keep going that way and we end up at the Diablo level and they keep churning kits out, I'll be a very happy boy. So, but there you go.
Right, there we go. We can add. There we go. We're in now. So here is the instruction sheet.
I just did a couple of pages of this because everybody, I think, probably knows what Revell's current instruction style is. Color call outs actually in the instructions with color is a nice touch. The detail paintwork on the door might involve a little bit of carefulness. Body color elements in there.
Well, that's why we have paint pens these days, which will probably help that.
Yeah.
Any colour? It's orange. That's not orange. That's Lamborghini red, isn't it?
It is. Well, actually, it's a colour called Arancia Atlas, which is orange. Atlas. Arancia Atlas Pearl, which is a very famous Lamborghini metallic orange colour that's come through. I think it came first on Murcielago and has been with us ever since. The decal sheet, very, very coyly says printed in Italy and nothing much else. You'd probably know better than I am, but there's a couple of other people than Cartography in Italy printing decals, and Revell have a habit of using them as well. But it felt Cartography to my.
I think the other company is, I think it's Zanchetti, but they are very similar. They probably use the same equipment and presses and everything. So yeah, if it's Cartograph, there will be a Cartograph logo on there. So that's have a look on the box, Ian, because if there's a Cartograph logo on the box, it will be Cartograph.
There isn't.
No, there you go then.
No, I think it's Zanchetti.
Yeah.
There's not. It's a shame. And said that it's not a bad thing. The decals look really nice. They're very crisp and
they do. Look
the carbon fiber is quite restrained. It's not overly stripy like some carbon fiber decals can tend to be. And the color is quite muted. They'll go nicely and then have a nice gloss coat over the top. They'll look really nice. Yeah, so Chris, a friend of mine, has actually built this because, as I say, it's been out on the continent at least for a little while, and I asked his permission to steal his photographs. You're going to ask me what color that is, and I'm going to tell you I haven't got a clue. It's green.
It's green,
but it is really lovely. And as you can see, it builds up nicely. Chris is a very talented modeler and prolific on a terrifying level. He's used Zoom On's chopped carbon fiber on this as well, which is that kind of camouflagey carbon fiber effect that you'll see on the back deck and around it. There you go. He's posed it with the engine deck open in that photograph as well, which is nice. So yeah, does make a nice model as well, doesn't it?
It does.
A good job of hiding the orange.
Yeah, just a bit. That it does. People are going to say, why did Revell mold it in orange? Because they're doing what Tamiya do, which is pretty much give you it's almost like Matchbox, isn't it, really, when you think about it? Everything's molded in color. So for the less experienced modelers, they can get a result without painting.
Well, you say that.
Yeah.
Everything else in the box is grey.
Okay.
Whereas
it should be black, shouldn't it?
The Tamiya Prelude and the 911 GT3 that you built, and things like that have got black and silver and grey and different coloured plastics in them, so they do actually replicate the parts on the outside in the correct colours. So
I'm just looking at that colour illustration, and yes, you'd think some of the bits would be moulded in black. Look, perhaps this is a learning curve for Revell with doing cars like this.
I mean, the thing is, and it's one of them things I carp on again occasionally. There's no need to build. Right, okay. They're aiming at people who are just going to glue it together.
Yeah.
That is fine. You know, there's no you can't criticize them for that.
No.
But it's kind of a halfway house in that you've got everything else in grey and some bits in orange. So you either go the Tamiya route with a black sprue and a white sprue and a green sprue and whatever, and blah, blah, and then you can build it without painting it, or you don't. In which case, I'd rather have that body in grey, because apart from anything, that we know what Revell's plastic's like, and the colour plastic seems to be really waxy. But like I said, Chris has clearly shown that it can. I know I'm pretty sure he does the same thing I do, which is I have this stuff, which is Zero's Key and Clean, which is an abrasive paste with a Scotch guard. Every Revell kit I build, I use this on the body panels if they're molded in color like that, to take the sheen off of.
Oh, that's interesting.
And then they get a coat. Yeah, then they get a coat of silver, because
very good actually
seals the color in.
Yeah,
and then I'll actually primer on top of that.
Yeah,
that's. Then I'm into
here we go.
Structure.
Yeah, I do apologise, going slightly off tangent here. Andy King says, Ian! ! What happened to Outlaw Paints, as their web shop doesn't exist anymore?
Haven't got a Scooby. That's news to me.
Okay.
They were at Telford a couple of years ago. 3 years ago. Because I bought some and then managed to drop one. That was expensive. And then I had to go back and buy the last remaining jar of the colour that I dropped, which was really embarrassing. But since then, I don't know. I think they were there last year. I've got the feeling, because they're associated with a trader that has some kind of link to M4H, but not sure. So if it's gone, that'd be a shame actually, because they did the best matches for the Suzuki X-Star Racer kit. The Tamiya one, they did the best blue and silver for that. They were absolutely chef's kiss, perfect for the real thing. So much so that I bought 2 of each, and they're over here.
There you go. I've just headed over there.
That's a shame. It'd be a shame that actually, because they had some. Ooh.
But that could just be an admin error with the website. So yeah, we'll wait and see on that.
That's one of theirs. That's a Lamborghini. Another Lamborghini color, matey. So yeah, they really are. They were good paints, and I will be disappointed if they've gone, because I have long thought I needed to get some more.
Right, shall we rattle on?
We'll do some decal bits.
Yeah. Here we go. Mike Williams says Revell reissued their 32nd scale BAE Hawk in grey plastic, far easier to work than the red they previously issued it in. I'm with you there. And Dave Fleming says Airfix club kit with plastic in red for Vigan and yellow for Tiger Moth. Yeah, but that's because of the schemes. The Vigan is in red and the Tiger Moth is in yellow, and it's not, it's mass market thing. It's the more general market. So I'm afraid you're just going to have to bite the bullet on that one, Dave. I do apologise.
If you want to seal the plastic colour in, just a simple coat of silver does it.
Yeah.
That's the way it is.
Right. Shall we? Next news. Which one? What do you want to do next, Ian?
What about SK?
No. Sorry, you did.
Yes, you well reminded. Oh, corking. Right, I'm going to ask you a question.
Uh-oh.
That is Revell's new 32nd scale Meteor,
Yes.
which is in the new style Revell box, I understand.
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask you to consider that box and then consider the box from the Revuelto and tell me why I've got a made-up model picture on my car kit box and that Meteor's got glorious artwork. Where's my glorious Lamborghini artwork gone?
I can't answer that.
You know what I mean, though.
I wasn't naturally. I just checked myself there because I nearly said Tamiya put made up models on their boxes, their cars. I don't think they do. I think there's his artwork as well. Yeah. I would suggest you send an email to that nice Mr. Luke chap and ask him.
He'll tell me to sod off. I know he will.
No,
I think genuinely, you've got to think, haven't you? You know, there's some investment in that Meteor artwork.
I think I do wonder, Ian, whether it's different expectations of the markets. Certainly, the aircraft and armor and non-car things will, by and large, it will be paintings, and they tend to be paintings not in action, but you know what I mean. Whereas I'm just scrolls back to the box art for the see that? Okay, I get what you're saying.
You keep talking.
To me, that kind of, if you hadn't mentioned that it was a made-up model, I wouldn't have batted an eyelid at that. I would have assumed it was a render or something. So,
because that is their newish tool, 911, from a year or two ago.
Yep.
And that's got artwork.
Yeah, I see your point. Brian Wilton is being a troublemaker. He's saying because aircraft modelling is proper modelling, so proper job. Yes.
Come here and say that.
Yeah. And Mike Williams.
It was just kind of like, oh, it felt a little underwhelming. I was excited about the box style, as you may have noticed, but I just wanted a nice picky. Something I could cut out and framed on the wall,
Dave Fleming saying, don't forget the 205 comment. I've completely forgotten what the 205 comment was.
Yes. I want to. So the Hella 205, there are a lot of the body shells with a molding flaw on the front scuttle. The meshy, the grilly bit in front of the windscreen. There's a lot of them that have come with damage on that. The one we were sent had it, and I hadn't realized until quite late on. Hella's website has a link you can email, and they will send you a replacement part.
That's very good PR. That is
brilliant. For that, I'm waiting for mine. I've had a number of friends who have already received them, and they are correct. They're undamaged. So
right.
Just in case
Shall we?
Wondered.
Let's dive on in with the SK models, new products for March or of March. So I'll just bring up. I'll bring up the image.
Yeah. So unfortunately, you only did the little image with the 5 little pictures on it. And so top left, we've got one of the Red Bull sponsored ABT Sportsline RA Evo 2 kit. That's be for your Nunu or your main kit. Better probably on the Nunu one. That now does that, because if you go at the Rossi edition, that's straight from the boxes in Evo 2 with the revised rear wing. and they do a nice detail set for that as well, which gives you the grills and bits. That's worth having. I believe that's a Max Verstappen car, but I might be wrong there. And Sarah Jane will no doubt correct me. The 911 GT 196 test car. So the 911 GT3 went through 3 seasons in Le Mans racing, 96, 97, 98. There are a number of customer schemes. It's a rather lovely STP scheme that you can do on it and things like that. But this is the test car. So if I've got it in my head, that's the Tamiya one, because there's a Revell kit and a UT models kit. The thing is, it won Le Mans in 98. No one's actually ever kitted the 98 car in plastic.
Good Lord.
So Tamiya did. I've got to get this the right way around, I'm going from faded memory. The 96 kit was the Tamiya one. They did the initial car. 97 UT models in conjunction with Revell did it, and then no one actually ever kitted the 98 one in plastic. But there is at least one resin kit of it, which might have been the German manufacturer Scale Productions, but I stand to be corrected there. Yeah, thank you. I was corrected. It's not that Red Bull Audi is not a Max car. But there you go. Thank you. Yes, got disqualified yesterday, didn't they? Using too many tires. And then so the next one down is the
what's he driving? A Tyrrell P34? Sorry,
a Mercedes. Would you believe?
That's a Formula One joke, isn't it?
Yes, it was.
Too many tires. Anyway, sorry.
He was driving a Mercedes actually, an AMG GT, which they used an extra set of tires in practice that they hadn't accounted in for. You're only allowed 6 or something like that. And he ended up getting disqualified after the race. They'd won it as well. Real bit of a shame in a lot of ways, because it would have been nice for him to have done that, had that win under his belt. And maybe he'll leave F1 and go and drive GT cars. We'll see him in GTs in the future. I think the way things going in F1, it wouldn't be a surprise. Anyway, so third sheet, I'll also go top left, top right, middle left. We've got that wonderful Uno Racing Team Audi R8 Evo 2 that I've been chuntering on about all year since we got the preview of the artwork with Cinema Roll on it, the Hello Kitty character. That will be here soon. Next two are actually they're grand deco sheets, and the fact that he's issuing these at this point makes me wonder if we're expecting a reissue of this kit. Because if we are, we're going to have another conversation with Mr. Fleming. The pink and white car raced at Le Mans. It is a very specific Skyline, a GTR LM. Both of them are actually. The blue and white one is the sister car, which I think was mainly used for VIP doodahs. But the pink and white one, to me, are kitted, and that kit is now selling for enormous amounts of money on the second-hand market. And he's in desperate need of a reissue. So I'm wondering if
what kit is that, Ian? I'm just going to Google it.
It's the Skyline GT-R LM.
I'm just Googling that at the moment. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you.
So those two rely on you be able to get that kit. If you've got one in your stash, lucky you. I sold mine ages ago and almost instantly regretted it. Desperate for the damn thing to come back out again now. I'm hoping it will. And if it does, the nice touch with that decal sheet, and you can see it in the artwork, is it comes with masks. So you can spray the pink a lot easier, because the kit sheet provides the pink as decals. And experience tells me that they were incredibly brittle, and would not conform to the rear wing area. So being able to spray it will be a huge step forward.
Yeah, so I've just scale mated that sorry. I've gone down the rabbit hole of Tamiya kit number. Oh, yeah, so I see what you mean. £70, £84, 200.
I remember that kit being 22 quid in Beatties.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, so yeah.
Right. Have you reached the end? Have you reached the end of that?
I've done that. We've got some zoom on bits, haven't we?
You zoom on, right? Zoom on, and
look at that. Is that your windscreen?
Do you know what? That could be the windscreen of my Binny. This, I think, is absolute genius because not the photograph, but Zoom On are doing windscreen wiper masks.
Yeah. Designed for
wiper weathering effect masking tape. Yeah, this is.
They're quite cool.
So you get two versions here, as you can see. Option A for normal wiper use and option B for center wiper use.
So if you're not me and you like your cars to look like someone's actually driven them, or you're building rally cars, or I know our friend Rally Chef is about tonight because I saw him comment earlier. I know he's been up at Shap at a truck show because a friend of mine saw him there and told me. And Ian Douthwaite, and he'll love those. He'll be all over them like a rash because there's a little simple usable thing. They're really cool. Really cool.
I like the fact that they've done them in like a I want to say rainbow, but you know what I mean, is that they are done in there are cut lines between each of them.
Yes.
And then when you position it at the center of your wiper, you then remove the excess things. That I think is very clever.
So it's generic, isn't it? In that it allows you to use them on any wiper blade on any car effectively.
Yep.
It's a very clever little thing, that, and he's been teasing this for a little while on a couple of the online places, and it's like, oh, you clever boy. Interesting, he's done it on the Evo 5. Because funnily enough, I've got the Evo 6 on the go at the minute, and tempted.
Dave Fleming, actually, Dave, I'm gonna bring up Dave's photograph. Let me just bear with folks, because Dave Fleming says Sunday seems to be classic car day in our local supermarket, and as Dave says, today a 1964 Volkswagen Beetle, couple of weeks back a Volkswagen Polo Classic, the saloon version, and we'll come to the
Polo.
Yeah, we'll come to the Volkswagen Golf in a minute, because viewer Tim is interested to know your opinion of the Revell Golf. Is it going about? Let me just make sure I'm getting that right. Yeah, the Golf GTO. Anyway, but we'll come to that in a second. But I'm just going to share screen here, and this is Dave doing his supermarket shopping. Oh my goodness me! Look at that. Yeah, exactly.
You see,
now
no one really makes, well, for obvious reasons, no one makes cars that look like that anymore.
No.
All the chromy bits are gone. The sticky out elements have disappeared. They're all. Yeah, I get excited about any car, modern cars and old cars, because I'm a car boy. You know, that's what I am. I'm a petrol head. But if I was in a position right now where I could go out and buy anything I wanted, I probably wouldn't buy anything built after 1976.
I'm kind of with you there, because a few years ago, myself and my elder sister, we were picking her up from, I was picking up from work where she used to work at the vets at the top of West Hill here, and somebody, I'm just going to do Dave's other picture, but somebody was selling a bright red Volkswagen Beetle, and I think they wanted about, I think this is going back about 20 years ago, but I think they wanted about $1,000 for it. And Vanessa and I, we looked at this car, and we were thinking, shall we go 500 each and buy and share a Volkswagen Beetle, a classic Volkswagen Beetle? Yeah, we had a closer look at it, and it was more rust than Beetle. But I would love. I mean, I'm a Mini man, but if there was one other car that would turn my head, it would be a classic Beetle.
Yeah.
Fabulous looking things, really are.
And they've made a couple of attempts at a new Beetle.
Yeah.
The first of the newer ones was probably the more successful. The later one was basically just a Golf with a body on it.
Yeah.
But you know, and I've seen a few. I've valued a couple in part exchange, and they depreciate like a stone, unfortunately. But you know, there's character to that old car there. Yeah, it was a conversation I was involved in a while back where it was like, well, if you had all the money in the world, what would you go out and buy? And I was like, well, probably something like about a 1948 or 50 Bentley. You know, I don't want something with electronics in it, so I wouldn't want anything built with fuel injection. I do like a carburetor.
Mike Williams says, I can hear that photo of the classic Beetle. I can hear it as well. I can smell
faint tinkling noise is the rust.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's funny, isn't it? If something like that drives down the road, it turns heads, regardless.
I always used to find that back in the old days when I used to have my red Mini and latterly my green Mini Cooper. It always used to amuse me that you know, people would smile to see a classic Mini on the road. And yeah. Right, last news. I'm going to get a bit teary now. I'm thinking about my green Mini. God bless it. Actually,
more to that. Is it
no. Actually, bear with, because
I've set him off now.
No, you haven't. No, I haven't. I haven't got it. I haven't got it in the workshop here. Is my number plate for my old red Mini, the Red Menace, and before it went off to the scrapyard, I rescued the number plate so that I could keep it. And there we go.
Austin A35.
Very nice. Yep. Right.
I'll tell you the fate of that one because it depresses me to this day.
Yeah, likewise. Right. The last news item for tonight, and this kind of fills into what I'm hoping when we get the kits will be our next challenge. But this is ICM. And they are doing a set of Gangsters in 1/24th scale. And they look like they're up to no good, Ian.
They do. Naughty boys and girls. It'll be interesting to see what they're like. That said, you know, there's a little bit of stylization. I don't think Warren Beatty's looking particularly unwell in that.
No.
But, obviously, as long as they're out in time for us to get the kit, we'll be happy, won't we?
Well, I think the chances are we will be once we can get hold of copies of the Gangster car, we'll just crack on and do that as a challenge anyway. But I'm trying to work out whether these are 3D scanned or whether they're sculpts.
I'm not sure. I think that's that the young lady looks like a test shot.
Yeah, but I don't know whether they have been, whether the figures have been sculpted or whether they've been scanned.
You never know, do you, nowadays? They look decent enough, don't they? There's definitely glue marks on the one on the left there on the waistband.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely.
So they're obviously test assembly. It's just when they get them out.
But interesting stuff, and bold by ICM. I'm going to stick my neck out and say these are probably the first 24 scale gangster figures anybody's ever done. I know there have been, Aurora probably did large scale gangster figures in their prime.
I don't know that they did. There has been someone doing some 3D printed ones online.
Yeah,
they're on eBay, but for an individual figure, you're spending more than you'll probably spend on them 3.
Yeah, exactly.
Which, some people have decided that 3D printing is a means to make money beyond the pale, it would appear. But there you go. I've got a little surprise for you, though.
Go on then. Oh, very nice. Is that a reissue or?
It's a reissue. So this is from 1960. Oh my word! It's a long time ago. And it's rough. There's a phrase involving borrowing animals and backsides.
Yes,
that goes with that bit. But it's you don't realize how big a 1932 Imperial actually was, because this is a Nissan Skyline and this is a 32 Imperial.
Yeah,
it's a big car. The kit, I was going to save it until we started the thing, but I thought it was appropriate to tell you about it now. But there you go. It's a big car.
I so want to build one of these.
I got this from Dave Coley for a very reasonable price.
Yeah, I've got to build. I shall be tapping Mr. Farmer tomorrow and saying, when are you going into the office, and can we have a couple of gangster cars, please?
You might like this. Let me quickly shut this over. I've got a new thing on my desk so I can change my screen, my camera over quicker.
Oh, the bullet holes.
Bullet written glass. Look, there you go.
Wasn't that the kit that was actually issued by Airfix in the early 80s?
It was. Yeah,
it was, right.
So these are the wheels for the motorbike that also comes in the kit. This is the rear glass for the convertible roof and the windscreen with or without bullet holes.
Mm-hmm.
This, I don't know if you can see that. You can see what
jewelry.
It's
jewelry.
Jewelry, and it goes in a little case that comes with the box, along with a safe, which I'm now going to try and find. It's in here somewhere. There's a safe with money in the bottom of it.
Jewelry and a safe. That's a good combination.
Briefcase. There you go. Look, like a little briefcase, and there's dollar bills molded in the bottom of it.
Good Lord.
But that's actually also on the decal sheet. There you go. Look.
That's brilliant.
Oh yeah, I'm quite pleased with that. And there's a proper safe in there that that's the safe bits, the door.
Yeah, the
Bank of New Baltimore, it says.
Dave Fleming says a violin case and a Tommy gun too, if I recall. Are those windscreen masks as well, there, Ian?
No, it's just the
yellow. Oh, it's
the
protection. Yeah.
That's the safe. There's the door for it. Look. That's the jewelry case and the suitcase. This is motorbikey bits.
I can't see it. Can't see it.
Sorry, let me cut back a bit. This is motorbikey bits, saddle and wheels.
Yeah.
There's the. But I to be honest, this is as far as it's got so far. as you can see, it's quite flashy and obviously older. Nice touch is it comes with a very nice set of AMT's newer tires. They've retooled the tires apparently with plastic white wall inserts, look, which is nice.
That's very, very.
The white wall inserts are from the original release, but by all accounts, the tire tooling was shot, so they've tooled a new one. There's a lovely centerline mold on them.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier on. Yeah,
yeah, it's just, but the chassis and the up hood and the chassis is a chunk of plastic. Where's it gone? So that's wheels, spare wheel. Yeah, that size that engine. Oh, you go. Like so, yeah.
Oh, you do get figures, right? That's
yeah.
I was wrong then.
So these are obviously tooled specifically with this in mind, and there's a Tommy gun,
yeah,
and a hunting rifle with a scope on it. I don't know how good that's going to be using a bank raid, but I have to say I'm not seeing a violin case. Sadly,
if only cue violin music.
Yeah, there's a revolver on the chrome sprue.
Dave's corrected me. He says, Airfix 1 was a 28 Lincoln.
Okay. I might have to do a bit of digging because there might be two then. There was also AMT also kitted a 32 Ford, and I've got it in my head. It might have been a 34 Ford or a Chevrolet as Bonnie and Clyde. And the boxes had bullet holes in them. So everything was bagged inside the box, and there was like a liner inside the lid, and there were bullet holes in the box lid. And I had both of those in my collection at one point. Moved them, but they, it's at the height of the Bonnie and Clyde film thing, which was mid-60s, wasn't it? Someone decided they'd do a kit and a couple of kits, and they obviously worked because they did a couple more, and then this is what we get. The
Airfix kit was a 28 Lincoln. Well, the Airfix box, a 28 Lincoln. So
so this is the Chrysler Imperial. So there must have been two then.
Yep.
Because I've seen that kit, and it definitely had the same bullet holes in the windscreen as well. So they've done two.
Yeah.
But that's come back out again. Usually there's a year on it. Oh, I know where I've seen it. It's on the bottom of the Oxford. Copyright 2020, it says on that.
That's probably the retool bit. Dave Fleming says, a relative built the Lincoln for me. I still have it and the box. Right, Dave? Photograph or it didn't happen.
Pull your finger out, Fleming. Photographs.
Yeah. Agent Fleming, come on.
15 minutes, mate.
No, do it another time.
While we're on the subject, we were talking about old cars and shape, and I don't know how many of you are into watching TV about cars and building cars and stuff. There is a series called Full Custom Garage, which features a gentleman by the name of Ian Russell. It's on Amazon Prime. There's 8 seasons of it on Amazon Prime. Highly recommend it. He's not a Chip Foose type. Everything's perfection type custom car guy. He's very much but he does most of his stuff. He does some scrap. He'll get an old car that you think no one's going to make that run again, and he'll use bits of scrap steel and tube and things like that, and he'll have it running. And he does the most beautiful stuff. There's a bubble topped 62 Thunderbird in there that's about, I think it's episodes 9 and 10 of the first series, which he literally had to learn how to make full-size bubble tops for cars, and went out of his way to learn it, and end up with something that's absolutely stunning. So, if you want a bit of lightweight watching, something to watch and enjoy, it's worth a go. Just, it's a rabbit hole to disappear down.
Any other business?
Not really.
I was going to mention something. I've forgotten completely what it was.
I did some decals.
Yeah. What? Oh, very nice.
It's another Skyline.
Yeah. We were talking about something earlier on, and I was going to mention something, and it's typical
I said
memory.
to you at the time, you'll only forget if you don't do it, didn't I?
I should have. Folks, help me out here. What I was about to go off on a tangent, and we were talking about Hella, and no, I'll think of it after the show. Temu.
Thank you,
Anne-Marie Ryle Gould. Thank you.
To the rescue, as always.
Right, because on my Facebook, thank you, I remember it now. On my Facebook feed, there was an offer for the Godzilla Monopoly set, and I thought, I'm having that. Thank you very much. Something to play when Drew comes up. And I went through the thing of qualified for the offer, and then it went on to, in order to qualify for the offer, you've just got to buy a few more things. And then it just went on and on and on. And the longer it went on, the less I was seeing a Godzilla Monopoly set appearing in my shopping cart. I ended up, I don't know how I did it, but I ended up ordering a couple of spare airbrush stands. I think it cost me about 12 quid in the end. I'm fully expecting that I was going to get my Godzilla Monopoly set. No, didn't get it. In the end, I just thought, you know what? I'm just going to buy the damn set full price. And I did that off of Amazon, and I think it cost me about 25 quid in the end, but it was going to cost me more than that constantly. So I'm not a big fan of Temu, whereas AliExpress I understand that.
I must admit, I ended up at AliExpress having had a negative experience like that around Temu, and that weird. You can have this offer, and you can have this offer, and you can have this offer. I don't want any of that. I just want the thing I want to buy, which is what you're advertising. It was a display cabinet thing.
Yeah.
And and they still advertise the damn cabinet to this day for about 3 quid or something like that. Never ever have I managed to get to the point where that's actually been in my shopping cart.
No, I'm not going to buy anything from Temu again. But AliExpress, I understand that, and it's much more straightforward. Also, Sarah Jane, at some stage, you are going to be a guest on the Sunday car service. So no complaints, it's going to happen, and Ian will persuade you to come on the show as well. That's it for tonight, folks. Goodness me, we are just about to do 90 minutes, an hour and a half. Fingers crossed, we will see you again. Ian, I look forward to the next car service that we do, probably in about a month's time. So, as always, thank you for coming on tonight, and thank you for sorting out all the images for me.
Can you just say to Mike, full custom garage?
What's the show called, Ian? It's called Full Custom Garage. Yeah.
And it's definitely on Amazon Prime. That's how I'm watching it.
Gavin Blackburn says, I get all my modeling tools from AliExpress. Never let me down. Yeah, I've had good experiences with AliExpress. I've had rotten experiences with Temu. So on that note, thank you to everybody who tuned in tonight. Sorry we didn't give you all a shout out, but God bless you. I do appreciate your time. Fingers crossed, we'll be back with another Sunday service next week. And there'll be quite a bit of news. There's aircraft and stuff to talk about. So until the next time, big thank you to Ian, big thank you to you all. Stay safe, stay out of trouble, and we'll see you very, very soon. So bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.